This is an AI avatar of Lesix founder Rob Lee. Script produced using a custom-trained AI employee in Claude. Video produced using HeyGen. Now, let's begin. Here's something most agents won't admit. They're one bad month away from complete chaos. Why? Because they built their business on themselves, not on systems. I talk to agents every single week who are making six figures but working 70-hour weeks. They're transaction coordinators, marketing directors, lead follow-up specialists, customer service reps, all rolled into one exhausted person. And here's the thing that breaks my heart. They think that's what success looks like. It's not. Real success? That's when your business runs, whether you're showing properties or sitting on a beach somewhere. Today, we're going to walk through exactly how to structure the support systems that let you scale without losing your mind. We're talking about the three-tier framework that separates the agents who hit a ceiling from the ones who blow right through it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to hire, when to automate, and how to build infrastructure that grows with you instead of holding you back. Let's get into it. Here's what most agents get wrong about support systems. They think it's just about hiring an assistant. But support isn't one-dimensional. It's three-dimensional. Think of it like a building. You need foundation, structure, and a roof. Miss any one of those, and the whole thing collapses. The first tier is administrative support. This is your transaction coordination, your scheduling, your database management, the stuff that has to get done, but doesn't require your specific expertise. If you're still doing your own data entry, we need to talk. The second tier is technical support, your CRM, your marketing automation, your lead management systems. These are the tools that multiply your efforts. One email becomes 100. One social post reaches thousands. But here's the catch. Tools without strategy are just expensive hobbies. The third tier is strategic support. This is coaching, accountability partners, mentorship, the people who help you see your blind spots and push you past your comfort zone. This is the tier most agents skip, and it's exactly why they plateau. Now here's what's important. These three tiers don't work independently. They work together. Your administrative support feeds your technical systems. Your technical systems give you data for strategic decisions. Your strategic layer tells you what administrative tasks to delegate next. It's a cycle. And when it's working right, your business becomes a machine that runs smoother every single month. Most agents I meet are operating with maybe one tier in place, usually administrative. Maybe they hired someone part-time, but they're missing the other two entirely. That's why they're stuck. Let me ask you a question. Should you hire someone or should you buy software? This is the question that keeps agents up at night. And most people get it wrong because they're asking the wrong question. Here's the right question. Is this task repeatable or does it require judgment? If it's repeatable, automate it. If it requires judgment, delegate it to a person. Let me give you some examples. Sending a follow-up email to every new lead? That's repeatable. Automate it. Use your CRM to send a sequence that introduces you, provides value, and invites a conversation. Set it once. Let it run forever. But having a conversation with that lead when they respond, that requires judgment. That's where you or a trained team member steps in. Scheduling social media posts? Repeatable. Use a tool. Responding to comments and messages? Judgment. That's a person. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Revenue benchmarks. If you're doing less than 10 transactions a year, you probably can't afford to hire yet. Lean heavy on automation. Get really good at using free or low-cost tools. between 10 and 30 transactions, that's when your first hire makes sense. Usually a transaction coordinator or administrative assistant, someone who takes the paperwork off your plate. Above 30 transactions, now you need both. More sophisticated automation and additional team members, maybe a buyer's agent, maybe a marketing coordinator. But here's the thing people miss. Time cost analysis. If you're spending 5 hours a week on a task that someone else could do for $20 an hour, that's $100 in labor cost. But what's your time worth? If you close one extra deal every 2 months because you freed up those 5 hours, that hire just paid for itself 10 times over. Stop thinking about what things cost. Start thinking about what they return. Let me tell you what I see all the time. Agents with 17 different software subscriptions, none of them talking to each other. They've got a CRM they never use, an email platform that's disconnected from their database, a social media scheduler that doesn't integrate with anything. And they're paying for all of it every single month. This is not a tech stack. This is tech chaos. Here's how to build it the right way. Start with your CRM. That's your foundation. Everything else connects to this. Your CRM should capture leads, track communications, and manage your pipeline. If your CRM can't do those 3 things, you have the wrong CRM. Next, email marketing, but not a separate platform. Find a CRM that has email built in or integrates seamlessly. You want one system where you can see that a lead opened your email, clicked a link, and is now ready for a call. Not 3 different platforms telling you 3 different stories. Then, social media scheduling. Same rule. Integration matters. You want to know which social posts drove website visits and which website visits became leads. Document management comes next. You need a system where contracts, disclosures, and transaction documents live. Bonus points if it connects to your CRM so you can see document status without switching platforms. And here's the key. Add tools in sequence. Not all at once. Get your CRM dialed in first. Master it. Then add email. Master that. Then social. Then document management. Every time you add a tool, you add complexity. Make sure the complexity is worth it. One integrated system beats 5 disconnected tools every single time. The goal isn't to have the most software. The goal is to have the right software working together like a well-oiled machine. Let me show you what this looks like in the real world. Research across multiple virtual assistant companies found something fascinating. 70% of agents who hired a transaction coordinator reported increased revenue within the first year. 70%. That's not a small sample. That's a pattern. Here's why it works. Transaction coordination is one of those things that absolutely has to get done. But it doesn't require your expertise as an agent. It's following checklists, managing deadlines, coordinating with title companies and lenders, critical work, but not sales work. When you hand that off, something magical happens. You get your time back, time you can spend on consultations, showings, negotiations, the things that actually close deals. The data shows that for every 20 hours per month of transaction coordinator support, an agent can handle 1 to 2 additional open transactions. Let's do the math. If you're closing 4 deals a month and you bring on a TC for 40 hours, you can now handle 6 deals, maybe 8. And here's what most people miss. The TC doesn't just save you time, they improve quality, fewer missed deadlines, better communication with clients, smoother transactions from contract to close. One brokerage handling 250 transactions a month said they couldn't achieve that volume without their system. They said it was their lifeline. It let them handle each transaction with precision, deal after deal. This isn't theory. This is what happens when you build the right support infrastructure. You stop being the bottleneck in your own business. Now let's talk about technology. Here's what the data tells us. CRM automation users see a 41% increase in revenue per salesperson and a 29% boost in productivity. 41% revenue increase just from using automation, but it gets better. Agents who set up CRM workflows, not just having a CRM, but actually using the automation features, they report 28% higher lead engagement. Let me tell you about a specific case. An agent using a system called Exact Contact increased their business by over 100% in 2 years. Within 6 months, they reconnected with 11 past clients, got 3 new referrals, generated over $20,000 in commission, all because they had a system sending the right message to the right person at the right time. Another example. A team at Raleigh Realty implemented automated email sequences for new leads. Within 3 months, they saw a 30% increase in conversion rates. 30% in 3 months. Here's why this matters. Most leads don't convert immediately. They need nurturing. They need multiple touch points. They need to feel like you're thinking about them. Even when you're busy with other clients, you can't do that manually. Not at scale, but automation can. While you're at a showing with one client, your CRM is nurturing 10 other leads, sending market updates, sharing new listings, asking if they're ready to take the next step. And when they respond, that's when you step in with the personal touch. This is the power of building your tech stack strategically. It's not about replacing the human element. It's about multiplying it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your business can't run without you, you don't own a business. You own a job. And the thing that separates a job from a business? Documentation, standard operating procedures, SOPs. I know, not sexy. Nobody gets into real estate because they love writing procedures. But here's what SOPs do. They make delegation possible. Think about it. If you want to hand off your transaction coordination, you need documented steps. What happens when a contract is signed? Who gets notified? What documents need to be ordered? What deadlines need to be tracked? Without documentation, you're stuck training every new person from scratch, repeating yourself, hoping they remember everything. With documentation, you hand them the SOP, they follow it, and if they have questions, the answers are already written down. Start with the processes you repeat most often. That's usually going to be your listing process and your buyer process. Break it down step by step, from first contact to close transaction. What happens at each stage? What emails get sent? What tasks need to be completed? Don't overthink this. Your first version doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be written down. Use a simple format. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Include screenshots if it helps. Link to templates. Here's a pro tip. Record yourself doing the task while explaining it out loud. Then have someone transcribe it. Now you've got a first draft of your SOP without even trying. And here's why this matters long term. One company I mentioned earlier handles 250 transactions a month. They said their system lets them handle each one with precision, deal after deal. That only happens because they documented their process. They built the system once. Now it runs automatically. That's the power of SOPs. They turn tribal knowledge into organizational knowledge. Let me ask you a different kind of question. If your business doubled tomorrow, would your systems break? For most agents, the honest answer is yes. They're optimized for their current volume, maybe 10 deals a year, maybe 20. But if they suddenly had 40 deals, it would all fall apart. Here's how to think about scalability. Your infrastructure should be able to handle at least 2 to 3 times your current volume without major changes. Let's say you're doing 20 transactions a year. Can your current systems handle 60? Do you have enough administrative support? Is your CRM organized? Do you have documented processes? If not, you're going to hit a wall. And when you hit it, you'll spend 6 months rebuilding instead of growing. This is why we build support systems proactively, not reactively. Let's walk through a practical example. You're doing 2 deals a month right now. You want to grow to 5 deals a month within a year. At 2 deals, you can probably manage most of the admin yourself. Maybe you're using basic automation. But at 5 deals, you need a transaction coordinator. You need sophisticated CRM workflows. You need documented processes so you're not reinventing the wheel every single time. Here's the move. Make those changes now while you're at 2 deals. Hire the TC part-time, build out your CRM workflows, document your processes. Now, when opportunity comes, and it will, you're ready. You don't have to pause growth to build infrastructure. The infrastructure is already there. This is what separates agents who scale smoothly from agents who scale painfully. Build for where you're going, not where you are. Let's talk about what not to do, because I see the same mistakes over and over. Mistake number 1, hiring too early. You're doing 6 deals a year, and you bring on a full-time assistant. The math doesn't work, you can't afford it, and frankly, you don't have enough work to keep them busy. The fix? Start with part-time support or virtual assistants. Scale the hours as your volume grows. Mistake number 2, buying software you don't use. You see other agents using some fancy tool. You sign up, you log in twice, then you forget about it, but you're still paying every month. The fix? Only add new tools when you have a specific problem to solve, and commit to actually implementing them before you add the next one. Mistake number 3, no documentation. You hire someone, you train them verbally, they leave. Now you start over from scratch with the next person. The fix? Document as you go. Every time you train someone on a task, write it down. Build your operations manual one process at a time. Mistake number 4, trying to do it all yourself. You think asking for help is weakness, or you think you can't afford support, so you stay stuck doing everything. The fix? Calculate what your time is actually worth. If you can make $300 an hour selling real estate, why are you spending 5 hours a week on $20 an hour tasks? And mistake number 5, random acts of automation. You automate one thing here, hire for one thing there, but it's all disconnected. No strategy, no system. The fix? Follow the framework we laid out today. 3 tiers. Strategic decisions about hiring versus automation. Integrated tech stack. Documentation. Scalability. When you have a framework, you make better decisions. All right, let's bring this all together. If you want to scale your real estate business without working yourself to death, you need 3 things. 1, a 3-tier support system. Administrative, technical, and strategic. All 3 working together. 2, clear criteria for when to hire and when to automate. Repeatable tasks get automated. Tasks requiring judgment get delegated to people. 3, infrastructure that scales. Integrated tech stack, documented processes, systems built for 2 to 3 times your current volume. This isn't complicated, but it does require intention. Most agents drift into infrastructure. They hire randomly. They buy software reactively. They never document anything. And then they wonder why they're stuck. You don't have to do it that way. Here's what I want you to do this week. First, audit your current support systems. Where are the gaps? which tier is missing. Second, identify your biggest time drain. Is it repeatable or does it require judgment? That tells you whether to automate it or delegate it. Third, document one process, just one. Pick the thing you do most often and write down how you do it. That's it. 3 actions this week. If you do those 3 things, you'll be further ahead than 90% of agents out there. And if you want help building out your support infrastructure, that's exactly what we do at Lesix. We help real estate professionals build businesses that scale. Reach out. Let's talk about where you're trying to go and what systems you need to get there. Because here's the truth. You didn't get into real estate to be busy. You got into it to build something. So let's build it right. Thanks for watching.